This Ain't No Effing Flu by Whitney Defoe. I'm sick of MECFS being compared to a never-ending flu. This ain't no effing flu. I feel like every system in my body is broken and in pieces. I am mentally and physically 1% as alive as I used to be. I have a million ideas, and on a good day, I have to choose one of them to work on briefly. And on a bad day, I can't even approach any of them. They die like rotten apples on the tree of my dreams. Even on a good day, when I get to work on one thing, I have to take at least the next day off and do absolutely nothing and stare at the wall while my mind just sits in my head like jello. And if I'm lucky, it recovers back to semi-functioning, severe illness brain fog status, not back to healthy. And sometimes MECFS patients do not ever recover from exertion if it becomes a crash, or it takes months or years to recover. When I try to do something anyways on a bad day or without taking enough days off in between because I so desperately want to be alive, this is what happens. See picture. Even if a flu is so bad you are bedbound, you will never experience the terrifying neurological symptoms many MECFS patients face. How many people cannot be touched without pain or worsening of physical sickness because of the flu? How many people can't have anyone in their room without getting physically sicker because of the flu? How many people are trapped in complete darkness and silence and isolation from all signs of life because of the flu? How many people get sicker from thinking too much because of the flu? How many people react to millions of chemicals in everyday products in the world and must live in the desert because of the flu? This list could go on and on. But even if you have a very severe flu and are bedbound, but still not as sick as most MECFS patients, the never-ending part is a huge deal. Knowing you will get better in a week or two and go right back to your life means your normal, healthy life can just be on pause. And you know that whole time you are sick in bed for 2 weeks that you'll go back to your full and beautiful life, even if you don't have the perspective to realize how beautiful it is. That makes it a completely different experience. It's so much easier to endure suffering that is short-lived, has an endpoint, and a bright future to look forward to. And again, the flu never causes the same level of suffering as moderate to severe MECFS. Before you criticize the use of the phrase full and beautiful life and say that a lot of people who get the flu are poor or are stuck in abusive situations or XYZ, MECFS patients face all of those things too on top of MECFS. And it is usually much worse given the prejudice against MECFS, the lack of societal support, and the helpless and vulnerable state we are in. For MECFS patients, our lives are not on hold waiting for us. They are canceled, in ruins, burned to ashes, gone and lost forever. And even if we got better in a week, which would be a dream come true for all of us, we would still be left having to start our lives all over again from scratch with a blanker slate than a teenager graduating from high school. The world is set up with opportunities for high school graduates. There are no opportunities waiting for blank age recovered chronically sick people. We will have to build a completely new life on our own, which I am dying to do, but it is still very different than recovering from a flu and simply returning to a life that is just waiting for your return and which you spent your entire life building and which is on track with societal norms and systems set up to make things easier for you. There are no societal systems in place to help ME/CFS patients while sick or even when we recover. Even prisoners have societal programs to help them get their lives back after prison. We have none. But we have not even recovered yet. We are still sick for the countless never-ending day without even societal programs to help us maintain a decent quality of life while sick. And my disability benefits, which I must live on long-term, and which would not even pay for a room where I live pale in comparison to paid sick leave. 80% of Americans get paid sick leave, and nearly all people in the EU, which most people with the flu only depend on for a week or two. A flu is a short, well-supported blip in an otherwise full and complete life. ME/CFS is the unsupported end to a once full and complete life. So no, this ain't no effing flu. Love, Whitney.